Hello everybody, my name's Sean Woolley, Managing Director of Cloud9 Spain. With me today I have
Debbie Lush
and Justin Mole.
And we are here today to discuss, it's actually a topic we visited a while ago now, a couple of years ago, and we thought it was about time to revisit it, where we're comparing three of the very well-known, what I would call prolific golf resorts here on the Costa del Sol. They're all located in the municipality of Benavis, so that's why we wanted to compare them, because they're all near each other. One is La Quinta, which is very well known. The second one is Los Arqueros, and the third one is Los Flamingos. They all have similarities, but they also have significant differences as well. And we're just going to have a chat about where we feel the value is, where we feel our clients tend to be drawn towards, and what each of these resorts has to offer property buyers. So, guys and girls, La Quinta, Los Arqueros, Los Flamingos. Let's start with La Quinta. Mm-hmm. Who's been there recently?
Me.
Very good, very good. So I would say that La Quinta, for those of you who don't know, it's just up the Ronda Road from San Pedro. It's quite a vast resort. It has 27-hole golf course, which means that you can play different combinations of 18 holes. It has a very lovely Westin, isn't it? Westin
Hotel.
5-star hotel. Yep. It has a spa. It has a lovely clubhouse. What else does it have? Little kids play area.
All the administrative offices are there as well.
Yeah.
For the La Quinta
group. And it's got a good reputation, La Quinta, hasn't it? It's just got a great reputation. It's been going a long time. It's actually owned by the Pascual Dairy Company, so there's a lot of corporate money behind it. And you can tell the way they do things. It's not half-hearted. Everything they've done has been pretty good. People who've bought there have been very happy over the years. And of course, now they're developing a completely different valley, which is their latest resort, which is another thing altogether, which is Real de la Quinta, which we'll come on to in another episode. So that's La Quinta. Anything to say about La Quinta? Do we like it?
Love it.
Oh,
I'm a member.
Why do you love La Quinta?
It works for me. It's, what is it now, 35 years old, maybe, a bit more. It's mint. It's always immaculate.
What, the golf course?
The golf course and the urbanisation itself, the resort. Everything works really well. It's got good security. It's got a good clubhouse. I like the gym and the spa, which is what I'm a member of. I just think La Quinta works. It just feels nice to me.
Okay. Debbie, what do you think of La Quinta?
I really like La Quinta. As Justin said, it's a well-established area, so you can see what you're getting and the quality, and the roads are all maintained and the planting and everything. And having that Westin hotel is a big benefit, and all the facilities there.
It is nice to have a hotel on site, isn't it? Because it tends to attract a certain type of client, a 5-star hotel, apart from when they get Liverpool Football Club staying there, of course. But that's a different matter. They do get a lot of football teams coming.
That's why the hotel from November through to March hosts a lot of winter training.
Yes, because just outside the La Quinta Resort is the Marbella Football Academy, isn't it? Where they have a lot of the winter training for a lot of the top teams, actually. I'm only joking about Liverpool. I love them dearly, really. So, yeah, it's nice to have a hotel. Now, that's one thing that Los Arqueros doesn't have, which is just over the other side of the Ronda Road. Los Arqueros has an 18-hole golf course designed by Seve Ballesteros. It has a lovely family-friendly clubhouse, which has recently been taken over, hasn't it? And now they've got a bowling alley, and they've got a new cafe and restaurant. They've got squash courts. I think they've got quite a few things going on there. What do we think of Los Arqueros?
Well, I'm a fan of Los Arqueros, a big fan.
Okay.
And the reason being is I think you get good value for money up there with the properties. Okay, you've got sea views, you've got on-site facilities, you've got 2 restaurants there, you've got a gym, the bowling alley, and yet you're a few minutes drive from the amenities of San Pedro and a few minutes drive from the beach. But it's a quiet area, stunning gardens and the golf course and everything. So I'm a fan, I'm afraid, yeah.
Just in terms of the properties and the types of properties you get on these places, just before we get to Los Flamingos, because La Quinta and Los Arqueros are pretty much side by side, aren't they? They've just got the Ronda Road splitting them in the middle. So there's apartments available, and I guess with the age of these resorts, I guess Los Arqueros is about 20, 25 years old, and La Quinta 30, 35. But none of it looks old, does it? Even as you drive through it and you look at the older style developments, they still look pretty good, they're well maintained. They might have the old galley style kitchens, they might not have elevators, so that's one of the compromises. But you're right about the value, because you can buy a 2-bed apartment, certainly in Los Arqueros, for between 250 and 300,000.
Yeah. About 300, yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Obviously, if you want one of the latest projects on Los Arqueros, you're probably looking more towards the 400,000, I would guess. Los Arqueros is an interesting one because the dominant developer on Los Arqueros over the years has been Taylor Wimpey, who we all know and love. So there is some degree of uniformity to that development, isn't there, in terms of the build style. La Quinta, they do a lot of their own stuff, and they build different types of units. They build things that are very luxurious and large and grand, and then they build the more touristic stuff. On La Quinta, starting price is what, 350?
350 closer, I'd say 354.
For a 2-bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to have a lot of options there pre-COVID, where you could purchase 280 to 300, but a lot of those units, which are all frontline golf, and they're the older, like Los Arcos, the older urbanizations, they've, like everywhere else, it's the right location, they've been taken, renovated, not coming back up for resale. So I think La Quinta now, you're probably going to be looking closer to the 4 plus.
Okay. There's also townhouses on both of these developments, although not a lot of them. And obviously there's villas and plots as well. So the villas in Los Arqueros and La Quinta, can you pick up a villa for about 2 million in Los Arqueros then?
Yes.
And La Quinta, roughly the same, or a touch more?
2.5, 3 plus.
Yeah.
My personal feeling, if you're in the villa market, is that the majority of Los Arqueros is southeast facing for villas. Because they wanted to get the golf view. It was built when golf was everything.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's not so important. Whereas La Quinta, you've got a lot more south and southwest facing options.
Just looking at the price there, it looks like La Quinta has a little bit of a premium. Why? Is it just because of the hotel, or just because of the name, or a mixture?
I think the La Quinta Resort I personally feel has more to offer. I think the plots are better. I think the views are better. And therefore, anywhere we are, you have a plot without a view and a plot with a view. There's a massive difference in the price. And I think that's more of what La Quinta is about.
And would it also help the fact that La Quinta is considered to be part of Nueva Andalucía? So it's closer to Puerto Banús, although it's not much difference in it. But
potentially, yeah.
Let's talk about Los Flamingos, because that's just the other side of the valley. Still in the Benavis municipality. It's an area that I know very well. It's home to 3 golf courses, I think. Certainly the toughest one is Alfarini, which is almost like a championship standard golf course. It's got a beautiful hotel, which is the Villa Padierna. I think it's under the hands of the Anantara group now. But it's a beautiful hotel, like an Italian Renaissance palace kind of thing, with a very good spa. It's got 24-hour security. What do we think of Los Flamingos, Debbie?
I really like Los Flamingos. The apartments are quite large, and that's a big asset. And the views are stunning. If you get to look over that Villa Padierna golf course, it is absolutely superb. And you're a few minutes away from the amenities. But I think the draw there is community fees are a little bit higher in some of the resorts there than normal, but you pay for what you get at the end of the day. It's a very established community. But the size of the buildings is quite generous, and that's a big attraction for clients, especially if they're thinking of it as more of maybe a home to live in, or they're retiring in a few years and they're going to live there.
Justin, what say you?
Not my favourite location.
Ooh,
I've got to say.
Why is that?
Debbie's absolutely right. It's beautiful. You get some great views, and there's some good square metre sized apartments. My issue with Los Flamingos, I feel it's a little bit of a diamond in the rough, because you're paying top dollar inside Los Flamingos, yeah? But just outside, you've got your amenities, which are Cancelada, El Paraiso, Bel Air, and I don't want to sound a snob, but you're paying top dollar in Los Arqueros for your accommodation, but you've got
In Los Flamingos.
Sorry, in Los Flamingos, but your amenities, it's good to have the supermarkets and everything nearby, but your restaurants and your bars and your cafes, I just don't feel are anywhere near that level. Whereas if you are in Los Arqueros or La Quinta, you step out the front door and you go down to San Pedro, or you go into Nueva Andalucía, you have very, very good facilities, slightly higher quality facilities, and that's my only issue with Los Flamingos.
We have clients for all of these developments, and I think what we normally do is if we have a client for one, we'll probably show the other ones as well, unless they specifically ask not to see them, because they're so similar, aren't they? Yeah. I think there's a lack of stock at the moment in all of them, but particularly in Los Flamingos. It's very hard to even find a 2-bed apartment. There's about 9 or 10 different developments that have been built over the last 15 years. And I lived in one of them very happily for 9 years. And you're right what you say, the community fees are a little bit more, but that's That's because most of these developments of apartments, they have their own 24-hour security. And you're also paying into the macro community. So you're paying for a little bit of the security guy on the gate who just waves at everyone, basically. It doesn't matter who you are. And that's the soft security barrier, which is mainly just for to show that they've got security, basically. So yeah, community fees are a little bit steeper, but you, like you said, you get what you pay for in terms of the guards and things like that. So it's a nice, safe environment. It's nice to have the hotel on site. I hear what you're saying about, yes, you've got Bel Air, Cancelada on your doorstep. That's your local stuff. And you are a little bit further away from the action in terms of Marbella, Puerto Banús, although you're halfway between San Pedro and Estepona. So it ticks a lot of boxes for some people. The prices there, interestingly, have shot right up. I mean, even a few years ago when I sold my place, up until now, I would say prices have gone up between 10 and 15%, if not even higher than that. So a two-bed apartment in Los Flamingos is going to be 350 to 400,000 at the moment. And I've even seen villas there for 9 million, 10 million. So prices are creeping up. Okay, so here's the question. Forget about clients for the moment and where you take them. Where would you, if you had $500,000, where would you park your money?
Los Akeros.
La Quinta.
Oh, and I'm Los Flamingos. Wow.
There you go.
Okay, the other thing we haven't mentioned about La Quinta is the gated villa communities that form part of La Quinta, one of which is one of my favourites, which is El Arrojo Alto, which needs another debate because there's a huge amount of stuff going on there. But people who come to us wanting a gated private estate, normally we point them in the direction of La Zagareta, Madroñal, Sierra Blanca, Cascada de Canajan. But the one that people often forget about is El Joroco because it is gated, it's got a great security, magnificent views, and it's almost part of that La Quinta setup, so it ticks a lot of boxes. Because very often the problem with these gated areas is that they're miles away. But El Joroco Alto is probably the best located in terms of having a bit of everything on site with the golf, with the hotel.
The views are fantastic.
Yeah, the
That's
views are
main
amazing.
thing.
The only problem with El Joroco Alto is that the plot sizes are quite small, aren't they? So it can feel a little bit squished. Whereas if you do go to the outlying areas where there's more land, obviously there's more land, and it gives you a degree of or a sense of space.
So I think it's a really good value area.
Very good. So we're all going to get $500,000. We're all going to go to different places, and we're all going to invest it in different things.
Yep.
How bizarre, but great. So
Can't
those
wait.
three areas, La Quinta, Los Arqueros, Los Flamingos, if you're looking for a property within a 5-star golf resort, apartment, townhouse, villa, nice elastic budgets, it's a great place to start the search.